So once you get your part the way you want for your section, you want to use a rat tail comb like I'm using here and get a small piece. And that small piece you want to separate into 3, and you want to start plaiting maybe 2 to 3 times before you start to stitch. Okay, so now we are starting to stitch. You can use, here I'm using like artificial nails that I'm just picking up small pieces to create that illusion of stitches, and that's all. So you just take a piece and then you clasp it into your hand. Look here. So I'm going to take a piece and clasp it into my fingers that are together. You're going to continue to do that. You're going to work your way around whatever design you have chosen, whether it's straight back, hearts, whatever, all this curve like I'm doing here. Client has thick hair like the client that I'm showing here. I usually don't add small pieces of weave until I get halfway around the braid or halfway down the braid. A trick I've learned is that when you go to, as you watch me do this stitch here, and I scoop, you want to grab the hair with your fingers and then use your pinky or whatever finger you're comfortable with to scoop into the middle section of the part. Hopefully that makes sense, because you want your braid to be centered. So you want to stitch to the middle of your section, not all the way through, but to the middle. The more you do this design, the better you'll get at it. Now I'm going to give you a better angle here. Hopefully you can see as I am stitching. Now when you go around a curve, you want the widest part of your curve to be a little wider in your stitch so you won't have completely uneven stitches. So kind of like a sunburst. So you'll see that the inside here will be skinnier, right? Because you're going around a smaller curve, and the outside will be a little bit bigger to meet that section so that you'll meet up at the same section when you're going down a straight row again. Just take your time with this, no need to rush. The stitch look is for aesthetics, right? So just take your time and you'll get it. You don't have to pull really hard. All you're doing is just taking that section. Okay, now here I'm going to add the weave. So I just pull it in like I would that stitch, but I stitch first. So I'm going to show you again in a moment after I curve this side on the left. After I stitch this side on the left. Okay, now here I'm going to stitch from the right end to the left, and then I'm going to add a small piece of weave, braiding hair, and then I'm just going to keep on going. And you don't want to keep adding braiding hair unless you want big braids toward the end. You really have to balance it on the thickness of your client's hair and the desired look. So if they want that look that goes from small to large, then you would add hair, small pieces of braiding hair, and then increase the size of the braiding hair. Now, if that person already has thick hair, you don't have to add that much hair. hopefully you can see clearly what I'm doing here. Let's take another look here as I stitch from the left side. Let me see, look, as I clasp it into my fingers there. I just pull that piece that I stitched into my fingers that are pinched. That's holding that section. Let's look again here. Now watch as I clasp this side here. Okay, maybe I decided not to clasp it, but sometimes when you get uneven, sometimes you'll notice that you don't have to get caught up. But here I go. There you go. And sometimes when your braid is thicker than your part, just about, you don't really have to like go through with those stitches anymore. You can just kind of braid your way down, and usually you will see like some stitch marks. So just give yourself some grace there and just keep practicing, and you will get this. I'm gonna go ahead and let you all just watch the rest of the video. Feel free to rewind and practice. I promise you'll get better at this. Now as I get to the bottom here, you'll see me scooping up that back part near the nape of their neck, because I don't want them not to be able to put their head down without tugging. So I kind of like comb the hair up in the back, scoop it up, and when I get near the nape of the neck in the back, or what you call the kitchen, I just add more braiding hair to thicken up that braid to the width and the length that the client desires. Now that all the hair is stitched, we're going to go ahead and just braid on down. Just checking to make sure the braids are the same width, and then we're going to just braid on down. And you can use your gel just to smooth out each section. You don't want too many flyaways, and just continue to add hair as needed. Now it's time for the final reveal. Here it goes.